Nikolaus, I'm so glad that you're playing for your father's wedding. Just wanted to make sure you feel comfortable for the cues, you know when to come in, when to fade out. Perfect, you've done this before? Excellent. Alright, we'll get to it shortly. Ladies, gents, theys and thems, if you could please be seated, we're just a few moments away from the start of the ceremony. Can you take this opportunity, please, to be fully present in acknowledging the love of the couple and kindly turning off your phones. We have professional photographers here to capture every moment, and it would be lovely to capture your authentic smiles. Welcome to the Melbourne Botanic Gardens, where James Stephen Peters and Fatoula Krista Christikos are to marry. I am Sinead Waterson, and I am the authorised marriage celebrant officiating this marriage today. Jim, Tula and I would first like to acknowledge the Bunurong and Woiwurrung nations, who are the traditional custodians of this land, and in which its rich history as a meeting place for the Kulin nations intertwines today with modern ceremony blessed by love. I would also like to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and thank them for their continual life and care they bring to our home and country. Jim and Tula's love tells an exceptional story about first loves and second chances. The two fell in teenage love back in Greece 45 years ago, only to be tragically torn apart when Jim's family moved here to Australia. Like they say, you never forget your first love. Both Jim and Tula loved again after their high school days and had gorgeous children in their marriages. The two collectively share in the joys of 8 grandkids. But fate left the pair alone in love yet again. It was one fateful day in the build site when a friendly bluey between John Jamieson and Jimmy struck out. "The missus wants me home, Jim." Jamieson was declining Jimmy's offer to head to the pub after work. "Ah, Jamieson, you're not about to leave me alone and lonely, are you?" Jim replied. At this moment, Jamieson became sober in thought. "You know, I do worry for you, Jim. Why don't you get on that blue book? The book face. You know, the contacts list, but online?" And that was it. All it took was one fed-up wife, an honest suggestion, and a solid 5-hour afternoon with Jim's son Nicholas to teach him how to use Facebook. Tula had been on Facebook for years. When Jim's profile came up, she recognised him instantly. They had only been chatting for 3 weeks until Jim pretended he had a reason to be in Greece to casually catch up. They had coffee, which turned into lunch, which turned into dinner, which turned into after-dinner drinks. Jim is proud to say the date ended in a kiss. Jim and Tula felt as though no time had passed between them. Tula said to me that the only telltale sign of time having passed has been a couple extra wrinkles stretched across their faces. Tula says Jim is still the belly-laughing larrikin she has always known, and Jim thinks Tula is as witty as when they first met. The only question between them was, how do we make this work? Family is everything to these two. Jim's children, Nicholas and Olivia, and Tula's children, Eleni and Nikos, met for the first time yesterday, where a great secret was finally spilled. Tula and her children are moving to Australia. To represent not only Tula and Jim's marriage, but the marriage between two whole families, I'd like to invite their children, Eleni and Nikos, and Nicholas and Olivia to light their candles in a union candle ceremony. May they please head up to the stage now. The children will now light this singular, larger candle, all at once, to represent the combined strength and love between the families. Thank you. May Nikos and Nicholas please be seated. Olivia Peters and Eleni Christokos will now deliver a poetic blessing upon the pair's joint lives. Olivia will deliver the poem once in English and Eleni once in Greek. This poem is called Ithaca, meaning life's destinations, and is written by Greek poet C.P. Cavafy. Thank you, Olivia and Eleni. And now we will have Jim's best mate, John Jamison, deliver a hilarious account of their heart-to-heart before Jim made his trip over to Greece. What more could you ask for in a wingman? Thanks so much, John. Nikita is Jim's sister, and she has taken it upon herself today to act as the official interpreter to assist in the legal sections of this ceremony. May we please invite Nikita to join me now. And now we shall begin the asking. Okay, I'm going to ask this to James. I want you to repeat so that you can James Stephen Peters.
James Stephen Peters.
Do you now choose Fatoula Christokos to be your life companion?
Do you now choose Fatoula Christokos to be your lifetime companion?
To share your life openly with her?
To share your life openly with her?
To speak truthfully and lovingly to her?
To speak truthfully and lovingly to her?
To accept her fully as she is?
To accept her fully as she is?
And delight in who she is becoming?
And delight in who she is becoming?
To respect her uniqueness?
To respect her uniqueness?
Encourage her fulfillment?
Encourage her fulfillment?
And compassionately support her?
And compassionately support her
through all the changes of your years together.
Through all the changes of your years together.
I do.
I do.
Okay, now I'll be addressing Fatoula Christokos.
Fatoula Christokos.
Do you now choose James Stephen Peters?
Do you now choose James Stephen Peters
to be your life companion?
To be your life companion?
To share your life openly with him?
To share your life openly with him?
To speak truthfully and lovingly to him?
To speak truthfully and lovingly to him?
To accept him fully as he is?
To accept him fully as he is?
And to delight in who he is becoming?
And to delight in who he is becoming?
To respect his uniqueness?
To respect his uniqueness?
Encourage his fulfillment?
Encourage his fulfillment?
And compassionately support him?
And compassionately support him?
Through all the changes of your years together.
Through all the changes of your years together.
I do.
I do.
Nikki, please repeat after me. I am duly authorised by law to solemnise marriages according to law.
I am duly authorised by law to solemnise marriages according to law.
Before you are joined in marriage in my presence.
Before you are joined in marriage in my presence.
And in the presence of these witnesses.
And in the presence of these witnesses.
I am to remind you.
I am to remind you.
Of the solemn and binding nature.
Of the solemn and binding nature.
Of the relationship into which you are now about to enter.
Of the relationship into which you are now about to enter.
Marriage according to law in Australia.
Marriage according to law in Australia.
Is the union of two people.
Is the union of two people.
To the exclusion of all others.
To the exclusion of all others.
Voluntarily entered into for life.
Voluntarily entered into for life.
And now these two lovers will unite and pledge their vows to one another.
And now these two lovers will unite and pledge their vows to one another.
Okay, I'm going to address you. I want you to repeat after me, and then we're going to have Nikki repeat for your lover. I call upon the persons here present.
I call upon the persons here present.
To witness that I.
To witness that I.
Sorry, I'll begin that again. I call upon the persons here present.
I call upon the persons here present.
I call upon the persons here present.
To witness that I.
To witness that I.
To witness that I.
James Stephen Peters.
James Stephen Peters.
James Stephen Peters.
Take thee.
Take thee.
Take thee.
Fatoula Christokos.
Fatoula Christokos.
Fatoula Christokos.
to be my lawful wedded wife.
to be my lawful wedded wife.
to be my lawful wedded wife.
Well done. Okay, and now we'll move on. So I need you to translate for me, Fatoula, and then translate what Fatoula says back to me. I call upon the persons here present.
I call upon the persons here present.
I call upon the persons here present
I call upon the persons here present
To witness that I,
to witness that I,
to witness that I,
to witness that I,
Fatoula Christa Christikos,
Fatoula Christa Christikos,
Fatoula Christa Christikos,
Fatoula Christa Christikos,
take thee,
take thee,
take thee,
James Stephen Peters,
James Stephen Peters,
James Stephen Peters,
James Stephen Peters,
to be my lawful wedded husband.
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 Thank you, Nikki. You may now be seated. The couple would now like to present their personal vows. James, let's start with you.
Word.
Thank you. And now, Fatoula.
Words.
To signify the bond between you, we will now exchange the rings in part by the Greek tradition, where the rings are transferred from the left hand to the right. Fatoula, can you please offer your hand? This is enacted in observance of the rings of power, authority and pledge worn by the biblical figures Joseph, Daniel and the prodigal son. The prodigal son, specifically, wore his ring on the right finger in a commitment to returning home. A commitment fulfilled by Jim and Fatoula returning home to their loves. I would now like to present Mr. and Mrs. Peters. You may now kiss your partner. And now, let's invite John Harvey Jameson and Nikita Yolanda Constantine to sign as witness to the marriage. As we complete the signing, I would like to invite our guests to receive the martyrica, which will be passed along the pews. This is a gift from the couple as a keepsake signifying your witness to their marriage today and can be worn on your lapel or dress. Okay, so Nikita, if you wouldn't mind translating for me, we'll start with Fatoula. So, this is for you. This is the marriage certificate that you will keep.
This is the marriage certificate that you will keep.
Can you please sign here?
Can you please sign there?
And can you please sign here?
Can you please sign there?
And can you please sign here?
Can you please sign there as well?
Fantastic, thank you. And now let's go Jim. You can sign here. And you can sign here. You can sign here. Excellent work. Let's move on to John. Let's go John. Can you please sign here? Can you please sign there? Fantastic. And can you please sign here? Great. And then Nikita, you've got the most amount of signatures. So let's sign on this one. And just on this one here. And under Nikita there. And then while I have you here, let's sign the interpreter. Fantastic. Thank you. And now just, if you wouldn't mind watching as I sign as well. And that's all done. Can you please have the witnesses be seated? Thank you. And let's resume our positions. May I please ask for your attention, bring you all back as we finish this ceremony. you for joining us here today in the miracle of love, second chances, and social networking technology. The couple look forward to joining you at their reception that will be held in Panama Dining Room. As I hold this ceremony to a close, I invite you all to stand and give the couple their well wishes as they take their first steps into their married life. And we're done.
Hey!
All
Oh
right.
shit, should that have been recording?